And the last time after the last recession, like that 2 years after that October, companies were booking like 2 weeks, 4 weeks in advance. Resorts were full, and they're still booking. And that's my dream, but I can't guarantee it, but it's really fun. So if you get good, then you become a trip director, and they get paid more, and they're more in charge. Like Tammy saying, they're the ones that regularly show up. They may have travel staff to help them, out along the way. And there may be one trip director, there may be, 6 trip directors. If it's a huge program in Vegas, there's a lot of trip directors. So that's what people are at the best position on that, as far as being a lead for the programs. And that's, again, working in the CMI market. I also want to mention what I don't have in my book, but I have in my training is transportation manager. If you get really good at logistics, and when you're working for the DMCs and you're working for the meeting planners, you get good at logistics. And this is where you're organizing the transportation. We may have, like, I have a friend that he probably just got back. He was so excited. He moved to Vegas, and he does transportation literally all over the world. And he was doing the NCAA. He left about a week early. So all of those people going in, probably not as big this year as in the past, but you're arranging the transportation for all of them. You are, who's going to pick them up, somebody to meet them, the manifest, the hotels, if they're going on tours, how many buses, what time, who's going to lead them, what do you need done? I mean, all of that. And that's the transportation manager. Some of the big programs, you might have 5,000 people leaving in a day in some of the bigger programs. Now, we need you to organize the luggage. And, have that easy to find. I mean, it's really an art. But if you're interested in something like that, like he'll travel around for Crystal Cruise Line. When, go to China, he'll go to Germany. I have 2 friends that do that, and they help with the logistics, and that's transportation manager. And again, DMCs meetings, a good place to start, and getting information, getting good at that. Another position I wanted to talk about is
a quick note on that. Some of you here might have traveled with us in the beginning. We had a co-chairs named Mary Delia. I think Shelly knows her. And that's what she ended up doing. Like, she worked for us, but then she had her eyes set on this, DMC place. She ended up being like the maven for transportation for Super Bowl. So every Super Bowl, she's in charge. And then she told us about the hooker bus, which is a whole other story in itself. I'm not going to, because I don't know. But she was so into the logistics of the thousands of buses and the transportation and the VIPs and getting people to and fro. It's a science in itself, but she loved, again, being able to do those high-end resorts and rubbing elbows and running into VIPs and things like that. So her specialty became this Super Bowl piece. So it was kind of cool.
Wow. Yeah. We had it in San Diego quite a few years ago, and it is a big, big deal. And because you have the Coca-Colas and all the sponsors too. And each one of those sometimes will have separate DMCs just to take care of that segment. So in fact, something I missed this year that they're saying, or actually this year now, I think we're going to go, I guess it would be next year, but the Rose Bowl and the Rose Parade. A lot of the people I originally trained, because I started out in Southern California, that's where they started. Companies started calling me looking for people to do the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl.